And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black she is everything, so black she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words, but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says bitch I might be, says nuck if you buck, then says wipe me down. Kettle says yes my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says hell yes, but don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
All right.
Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave us to Jenny.
I want to pause that for that 1 second. Happy Valentine's Day. If you can hear me in the chat, hit me up with a 1. Let me know what's going on. This is going to be a very interesting live stream tonight. I know that a lot of people are still out on their Valentine's date or whatever, but I thought I'd just pop on for a minute. I really didn't promote tonight's live, but we'll see what's going on. We got a lot going on tonight. Let me kind of let me look at my playlist right here. Let me look at let me look into my stacks of wax. That's what we used to call records back in the day. You know, in a crate. We call them crates. So we got J Hud up. We got Unk, trying to talk some stuff about the Swiss Beats thing going on. We have some Ernesto stuff going on, of course. We got some Ernesto stuff going around. I mean, we got Sonya talking to Ernesto. We got Ernesto, saying that he's a man of God and then cussing like a sailor. Yep, yep. We we oh man, I got at least some surprises though. Let me just shut up right there. But yeah, Monique's in the mix too because her and her son have been doing the most, if you know what I mean. So I'd like to first shout out everybody in the chat. We have Red Headphones in the chat. We have Mistress Newbie in the chat. We have Bridget Mouton in the chat. We have Phoenix in the chat. We have Phoenix Soul in the chat. By the way, Phoenix Soul has a beautiful voice, beautiful commentary. We got some of the best in here. Mistress Newbie, we're going to have a good time tonight. Like as usual, if you feel like you need to say something and typing just won't do it for you, Just say 3 words. Drop the link. We're going to have a good time tonight. That's for sure. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody on chat and in the clouds. And those who see this later, you can never, ever forget about the replay gang. Ever. The replay gang. I love them. Okay. Anyway. Let me play this little clip here for a minute. I'll play this clip for a minute. And react to it. Let's just see what happens. I have never played this clip, so this is going to be exciting for everyone involved. Here we go.
Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave us to Jennifer.
So it looks like Jennifer Hudson is sick and tired of Tiffany Haddish spreading the narrative that they're both in a love triangle with Common, and Jennifer is determined to put Tiffany in her place. It has been years since Common dumped Tiffany like a hot potato, but it looks like Tiffany is still hung up on Common since then. Well, Jennifer is now putting an end to the BS that Tiffany has been spreading, and she is slamming Tiffany and telling her to stop talking about her relationship, or else y'all need to hold.
This, now, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be something that I need to tell you. What is it with these ladies wanting to share community pain? I know Jennifer Husband is an intelligent woman. Now, Tiffany, she's intelligent too, but a little bit crazy. But Jennifer, she knows this guy's history. She knows what he's done, and usually what somebody has done is what they're going to do. So what is it? Knowing, I mean, there's one thing to be surprised about, walking into something, right? But everybody knows what's up with Common.
Hold on to your edges and get on this drama because things are about to get messy.
Common, don't get me wrong, Common is a very charismatic dude. But he's just not one for commitment. J Hud, anybody want to, in the chat, I want you to put how many years you think him and J Hud will be together. In the chat. Exactly, Phoenix. He gets them, but he don't keep them, do we? Phoenix all 11 months. Mistress Nuba says, I never get with Common, knowing his track record. They want to be that one, exactly. That made him settle down. Yep. And he's eating it up too. He's eating it up. So we got 6 months. We got 2 years from Red Headphones. Red Headphones in the house. Phoenix in the house. Phoenix Soul in the house. Mistress Newbie in the house. Negative 9 years. Just show and tell. So keep it going. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
I'm in a relationship that is one of the most beautiful people I ever met in life. And
he says that shit all the time. He's a great promoter of his relationships. He's not going to, I don't know why. I mean, you look, okay, let me just keep it going.
She's smart. She loves God. She has something real down to earth about her. She's talented. But I set my standard kind of high because she had to have an EGOT. She had to win an Oscar on her first movie. I set my standard high. She had to get her own talk show.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it looks like Jennifer Hudson is getting sick and tired of Tiffany Haddish trying to hook up with her man Common, and she is not trying to put Tiffany in her place, calling Tiffany out and telling her to keep her nose out of Common and Jennifer's relationship. Or else, according to reports, Jennifer genuinely believes that she has a good thing going on with Common, and she is determined to protect her relationship at all costs, especially against an ex who is still obsessed with him and is trying to ruin his relationship with Jennifer. And that ex is none other than Tiffany Haddish. If you're wondering why Jennifer seems so protective of her relationship with Common, it's because she has had more than her fair share of bad relationships in the past, so she is more than willing to fight for this one relationship that seems to be going well. I'm not trying.
I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. When you have bad relationships, then you don't really know how a good one should go. But I guarantee you, he's been giving off signs and and things that can tell you that there's something going on. I guarantee you, what's going to happen is this: is she's going to think that he's out with Tiffany, but I guarantee you, what's going to happen is she's other women are gonna be under the radar, you know what I mean? He's gonna be sleeping with other women, but they're gonna be under the radar, and then Jennifer's gonna find out the hard way. Here we go.
Trying to be shady toward Jennifer or be disrespectful toward her or anything like that, because she is a legend in her own right and one of a few people in history to have won a Grammy, Emmy, Oscar, and Tony, so disrespecting her would be weird. But at the same time, we have to admit that her love life has been nothing short of chaotic and kind of messy, and she hasn't exactly been lucky when it comes to relationships, even though she tried to do the right things in relationships. Her first relationship was with a man named James Payton in 1999 when she was 18, and the relationship lasted for 8 years. They broke up in 2007 when she was 26, and it's kind of impressive that she stayed in a relationship for that long. She was new in the industry and also kind of young, so the fact that she managed to hold on to a relationship for 8 years is no small feat, because y'all know how these celebs in Hollywood be breaking up every few business days.
Yeah.
While she chose to keep the details of the breakup private, she did admit that it had something to do with how hectic her life was. She said, "It was my choice to break up, definitely, but it was nothing new or foreign, like nothing out of the blue, like he didn't know what was going on. It had nothing to do with my fame at all. It was not an issue pertaining to that." She went on to hint that Payton had an issue with her work, saying, "It is difficult with this type of lifestyle and being a strong woman and being in any type of relationship, which I've eventually come to learn when dealing with people. Or malas at Tim's have issues when they are with a successful woman. Or even, it's weird, and I mean that in general, across the board. It's something I've noticed in a lot of situations when it comes to successful women or strong women." However, she admitted that they kept in touch and were on friendly terms. "When we broke up, it wasn't the fame. I don't want to put his business out there. It ain't my place to tell. And maybe that's a part of the private side to Jennifer, but I just like to give people their respect, to be honest. And he's kind of like family to this day, and I'm not going to put him on blast. I'm not going to do him like that." It didn't take long for her to move on, and within a couple of months, she had a new man in her life, and the relationship moved fast. She and Payton broke up in late
See, I mean, that's the one thing. She needs to kind of like, take her time. But I think for some reason she feels like a man completes her, and that's why she does this. And that's a problem. Indiana mom in the house. Welcome, Indiana mom.
2007, and by early 2008, she already had a new man, WWE wrestler David Otunga. They first met when he worked on the reality TV show I Love New York Too. Well, they didn't exactly meet on the show per se. David being on the show gave him the opportunity to meet a lot of people in Hollywood, and one of his new friends decided to introduce him to Jennifer because he thought that they would be a great match. Well, the friend was right, because Jennifer and David immediately took to each other. They started dating sometime in 2007, but the relationship moved very fast. He proposed to her less than a year later on her 27th birthday. This was in September 2008, and they were the perfect couple, or so we thought. Unfortunately, Jennifer's mom, brother, and nephew were killed by her brother-in-law a couple of weeks after Jennifer got engaged, and she had to lean on David for support. Luckily for her, he was more than willing to offer her the support that she needed. He was a very thoughtful partner and would even plan trips for them together so that she could take her mind off the horrible situation and start to heal. Jennifer got pregnant later that year, and in 2009, she gave birth to their son, David Jr., and they had their perfect little family. By 2010, they had been engaged for more than 2 years, and people had started.
Wow. Okay. Made it 2 years. That's a start. Here we go.
Started wondering when exactly they were going to get married. Insiders revealed that they had planned to get married in 2010, but they decided to delay the wedding even more. And then they waited 2 more years. By 2012, the rumors had grown so strong that David had to come out to claim that they had already chosen a wedding date, but they were keeping it private. Jennifer even claimed that she had picked out a dress that was going to be a showstopper. They both claimed that the reason they delayed the wedding so much was that they were waiting for justice for the murder of Janitor's mom, brother, and nephew. They said that was something that was hanging over our heads for so long, and now we feel like we can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Everything is good now. But by 2014, there was still no word about their wedding, and at this point, it was kind of clear that things had gone downhill between them.
Yeah, that's true, Bridget. Engaged for 2 years, that's always not a good sign. You're supposed to get engaged and then get married, not engaged forever.
David was absent at some pretty big moments in Jennifer's life and career. It was kind of clear at this point that there was something wrong with the relationship, but they kept denying it. They kept up the charade until 2017 when they couldn't pretend anymore and they announced that they had broken up. Honestly, we should have seen this coming for a while because Jennifer had said some things about their relationship that kind of sent red flags waving. In an interview, she talked about how he hated the fact that she had lost weight and was putting more effort into her appearance. Jennifer visited the J.
What? That is, if there's ever a red flag, there it is. So, see, that right there tells me he was probably, we can't call everybody a narcissist, but that doesn't help. That let's just say that's a narcissistic trait. We'll leave it at that. Here we go.
Show where she was asked, "What does your fiance think? Does he like the new svelte you?" Jennifer responded, "He's getting adjusted to it. He's not really into change that much, so he fusses at me like, why do you have to get all dressed up to go out, and why can't you just go out like you used to?" And I'm like, I'm a walking billboard now, honey. Yeah, that was weird, but at first it looked like the breakup had been mutual and they had simply outgrown each other, or they're very busy.
This is funny for a guy who, this is real funny. It's real funny for a guy who looks, I mean, he looks great. I mean, as far as his build, he obviously looks like he's in the gym all the time. This is something he should have been. This is something he should have inspired her to do, not keep her from doing. That's the weird thing. I mean, don't you think that as a muscular guy and you're working out, it's like, hey, honey, can you want to come to the gym with me? Let's work out together. But instead, he does the complete opposite and goes, "Why are you getting all dressed up nice? Where is all this self-esteem coming from?" Now, that's not a good look. I'm not going to say, that he's, an ARC, but I am going to say that's kind of looks that way. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
Schedules had some between them, just like it did with Jennifer's first relationship. However, it didn't take long for us to find out that there was a lot of beef and drama in the breakup because they both got involved in a very long and very messy legal battle that involved allegations of DV and custody over their son, David Jr. Jennifer claimed
Oh, no, here comes the DV. It's going to rear his ugly head. Here we go.
that David had been treating her badly toward the end of their relationship, saying that he showcased increasingly aggressive, threatening, and harassing behavior toward her and their son as their relationship broke down, and accused him of mental and physical abuse. She also accused him of being overly and irrationally jealous, and he accused her of cheating on him with multiple men and would use their son to try to spy on her. She spoke about a time when she had their son with her in a recording studio, and he asked the boy to make a video of Jennifer in the studio and send the footage to him because he believed she was dating one of her producers. Jennifer also...
Wow. Oh, man. Okay. I should send this footage over to a therapist friend of mine. I think this needs to be looked at. It definitely needs to be looked at. It's textbook red flags left and right. Here we go.
stated that David allegedly told the boy, "Don't let your mom's boyfriend effing touch you." She claimed that he then went on to send her some threatening messages that got her so scared that she immediately called security because she was scared that he would show up at the studio and hurt her. But luckily, he didn't. However, she claimed that he was waiting for her when she got home, and he ultimately confronted her at their home, where he allegedly grabbed their son by the arm and took him upstairs to the master bedroom, then roughly pushed her with one hand out of the room while holding the boy's other hand. However, David David had something else entirely to say about the situation and claimed that things did not happen the way Jennifer told it, and she stretched the truth to make herself look better and get pity from the court and the public. In a statement to TMZ, his lawyer said that he denies each and every allegation Hudson has made.
Oh my, this is predictable, but let's see where we're going with this. Here we go.
Against him, and that at no time did Mr. Otunga physically push Ms. Hudson, as she has alleged. He claimed that the reason he was so upset with Jennifer was that she was acting irresponsibly with their son. According to him, Jennifer thought that it was appropriate to have their son at a recording studio until 12:30 a.m. on a school night. He claimed that his only concern that evening was putting the child to bed so that he could be well rested for school, and that was the real reason that he had gotten so upset with Jennifer, and it had nothing to do with him being possessive or jealous. But that was not the only instance where she claimed that he treated her badly, because she also spoke about this wild instance when allegedly left a firearm on their kitchen table to mess with her head as a weird sort of mind control. This was twisted on so many levels because, as I mentioned earlier, her mom, brother, and nephew were all unalived on the same day with a gun. So it goes without saying that she for sure carries some trauma when it comes to guns.
Wow. I mean, it's that this is why I am not feeling this what this dude did at all. Number one, this is a hard story to come up with. It's not like, see, the thing is this is that it, it's what this is a believable incident. That's how I see it. I won't say story because I don't think it's a story. I think she's telling the truth. I really do. It's just a shame to see how violent men can get when they don't get what they want.
So for him to leave a gun lying around to mess with her truth is just plain devious. However, David's lawyers denied these allegations, claiming that he didn't own a firearm and that the gun in question was just a prop that he used for an audition, just as he told.
Oh, no, nope. Sorry, fella. It doesn't matter if even it was a prop. You know what that meant. He knew her well enough to know how bad that prop looked, whether it was real or not. It's not like she's going to pick it up and check and see if it's a prop or not. She's going to feel a certain way. So yeah, at least the funny thing is he admitted it. He admitted it. He admitted that he put a representation of a weapon on the counter, so she didn't lie. So he literally, whether it was a prop or not, admitted that he did that. He did that psychological abuse. Phoenix Soul breaks it down like this. It was already a trauma bond out the gate. She got out of a long relationship and was single for only a couple months. Bars. Here we go.
Told her it was at the time she saw it in their house. Jennifer didn't buy that it was an honest mistake, and she claimed that he used the fake gun as a silent intimidation tactic to get into her head. Well, David denied the DV allegations, and his lawyers released a statement saying, Mr. Otunga has never abused or harassed Ms. Hudson or their son, and it is unfortunate, especially in today's climate, that she would feel the need to make these false allegations against him. Mr. Otunga looks forward to his day in court and in being awarded the residential care of the party's only child. He also claimed that the reason that Jennifer was telling all those stories was that she was trying to get pity and paint him as an unfit parent so that she could get custody of their son. His lawyer said he has never abused or harassed Ms. Hudson or their son. The lawyer went on to claim that David had been trying to negotiate the terms of an amicable parenting agreement with Jennifer for several weeks, and said the actress and singer was trying to gain an unfair advantage in the custody dispute by filing.
I don't see. See, that's the funny part is she doesn't need to do all that. And she's already going to get she doesn't need to do all that. So he sounds like to me he's just using manipulation and other stuff. But let's dig deep. Let's see where it goes.
her order. The lawyer added that David looked forward to his day in court and in being awarded the residential care of the party's only child. David denied these allegations, and the charges against him were cleared when the courts couldn't find any evidence against him. But the story got messier when David spilled the tea to TMZ that the reason for the breakup was that Jennifer had cheated on him with music producer Marely Music. Jennifer then accused David of leaking stories about her to the press to tarnish her image, and she filed for a gag order against him, which the courts granted. They had a very messy breakup where they both dragged each other in court. They eventually came to an agreement regarding custody, child support, gag order, and other stuff like that, and the drama just went away after that. The relationship started so well, but it got toxic, and the breakup was just as toxic. So when I said that Jennifer is holding on to her relationship with Common for dear life and isn't going to let Tiffany ruin it, I'm not messing around. It took her about 5 years after breaking up with David before she entered into the dating world, and she decided that Common was the perfect man for her to try her luck with. Their relationship has been going great, except for one thing: Common's ex, Tiffany, who still seems to be half in love with him. If you're wondering why is Tiffany all right,
I mean, it's not just Common. I mean, it's Tiffany is not the major problem. The problem is that Common is just not. He's he's not one to commit. He's not one to commit. I wish he was because I respect his music. You know, I do, but he's not one to commit. I don't think he's a super garden tool, but I think he leads I think he leads women on, and he makes them feel wonderful, and I believe he does that. I really, and that's good for him. But then, after a while, he will get bored and move on. He's had a lot of A-list dates. Let's just put it that way. Here we go.
riled up about this relationship? Well, let me give you the lowdown because it all traces back to when Tiffany and Common were a thing. Their love story kicked off in 2019 on the set of the movie The Kitchen. There were sparks and expectations were high, but then Common randomly decided to rekindle things with his ex. Angela Rye and Tiffany felt like she'd been tricked and led on.
Forgot all about Angela. Angela Rye is beautiful too, I swear. And he got rid of her to get with um see? See? This is the funny thing. This is a common thing. No pun intended. Our culture. In our culture. He keeps bouncing around. Seems like he's a great guy, but the results are always the same. Let's keep it going.
Common had led her on, only to ditch her the moment his ex waltzed back into the scene. Surprisingly, Tiffany didn't hold a grudge against Common despite their past breakup. Angela's new relationship with Common hit a dead end after a few months. Long story short, Angela wanted kids, but Common, who was already a parent, wasn't keen on expanding the family and having more kids. Their mismatched goals led to the inevitable breakup, and the moment they split, Common rushed back to lavish Tiffany with attention. And she fell for it because by 2020, they were officially an item again. They tried the whole
See that shit? That's some shallow shit right there. But let's keep it going. Here we go.
celeb tactic of keeping their romance hush-hush for a bit. You know, the classic neither confirm nor deny strategy to keep the gossip mill churning. But fate had other plans. Lockdown hit, and they found themselves quarantining together, and the secret was exposed.
Oh!
Common had a couple of failed relationships before Tiffany came along, but folks still thought they made
a couple of fill of putting it lightly. Here we go.
cute pair. I mean, he even went to therapy after his breakup with Angela, all in a bid to be a better partner, and he even hinted at being down for marriage if he found the right match.
You want to be a husband one day. You have a rather famous relationship coach.
Oh yeah, yes. Michelle Obama, she has definitely helped talk me through just certain moments of relationship.
Michelle, there's some people you can't help unless they want to be helped, but I bless your heart for trying.
We had conversations, and she has given me a lot of wisdom. But one great thing,
I truly believe that he does want marriage, but he's just not cut out for it. He just doesn't have those kind of genes in him. That's the problem. He's just, he's just going to keep doing what he's doing.
that she told me as I was going through this journey was that you have to understand you're not going to get anybody that's perfect because you're not perfect. So understand that there's some certain things that you will compromise in
Great artist, far from perfect.
choosing that partner. But as long as the core values, the values.
I don't mind. I don't mind saying that Common's a pretty good looking dude because I always get mistakenly you know people say I favor him. So well, actually he favors me because I'm older than him. But let me keep it going.
That are most important to you, that person, marks off on that list, and you good.
She gave you some good advice there.
That's good wisdom.
She does some really good wisdom there.
Yeah.
Tiffany put her all into the relationship, and she put her entire heart on Common being the one. But it was pretty obvious to anyone with eyes that Tiffany was in love with Common, way more than he seemed to be with her. Hold up, though. I'm not throwing shade at Common here. He wasn't a jerk or anything, didn't mistreat her. It was just one of those situations where the excitement levels didn't exactly match up. And it was clear Tiffany.
Let me pause it right there. We got some going on in the chat. Yeah. Basically that's why he ran from Angela Rye is because he didn't want to settle down. He never really did. I mean, all that talk about wanting to be wonderful woman, blah blah blah, which is true, and I truly believe he believed what he's saying, but he's just not that kind of guy. I can tell. And Phoenix says this. My friend had a motto: D come a dime, D comes a dime a dozen. If you can't get his, get another one. I digress. I'm happy too. And then yeah, Phoenix Soul, he's 51. He's gonna be in his 70s talking about I'm ready. Exactly. He really, really, quite honestly, I think he just thinks that I I don't see him as an evil guy, but it's clear that he just sees women as a playground. That's it. And that's it.
Tiffany was way more into him than he was. For example, Tiffany was so excited about her 41st birthday and couldn't stop talking about it. In an interview, she revealed that she wanted Common to do something special for her birthday. She said, I'm just hoping me and my man, we going hot air ballooning and have us a nice little meal. That's what I would like to do. On my 39th birthday, I got drunk with my grandma, never done that before. And my 40th birthday, I had a bat mitzvah and that was super fun. This birthday, 41, I want to go up in a hot air balloon. Well, Common clearly had other plans because he just got her some flowers, and that was that. However, Tiff.
There he goes. There you go. There you go. See, what happened was this is that again, he's such a nice guy. She's a hot air balloon. Let's face it, a hot air balloon is not really out of the realm of craziness. It's not like she said, take me to the moon or nothing. A hot air balloon is what people do. That's all she wanted. A hot air balloon. They both of them can very much afford it. He definitely has a little bit of change. It's not like it costs $1 million to go up in a hot air balloon, and he couldn't even do that. That right there should have been the red flag of the century. Let me keep it going though. Here we go. Can you guys hear me okay? If you can hear me okay in the chat, hit a 1, 2 if I need to turn the volume up. Here we go.
Tiffany didn't get the message, and she continued to insist that things were perfect between them. She even claimed that she wanted him to propose to her, but she didn't want a regular diamond engagement ring. No, Tiffany insisted that she wanted him to propose with an apartment building.
On it. If he want to marry me, he can give me an apartment building.
Oh, okay. That would be, you don't want a ring, you want an apartment complex.
I'd give you a duplex, an eightplex or something.
See, and I know it sounds like a big deal, but really, quite honestly, you can buy a duplex or eightplex for about the same price as an expensive ring, if that's the case. I know a lot of people made a big deal about it, but quite honestly, it's like we're talking about people who are multimillionaires. So it's not like it's let me find out how much Common is worth. Common. Okay. Common is, let me just show it on the screen real quick. He's worth 45 million. I mean, that doesn't mean you have 45 million cash in your pocket. That could mean a lot of things. Like, projected earnings, that kind of crap. But he has a little bit of change. That's for sure. So if that's the case, $100,000 or $200,000, house or apartment duplex is not a really big deal at all. I mean, if that's something you can sell off. So that was kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Okay, here we go. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
I'll be like, where your ring? I thought you was engaged. Where your ring? Where your carrots? Carrots.
And if you're wondering what Common had to say about that, well, he basically said that he was there for a good time and not a long time.
It was good for.
Whoa, see what I mean? Now, here's the thing. You heard that one more time. I need to play that again.
Eightplex or something. The homegirl be like, where your ring? I thought you was engaged. Where your ring? Where your carrots? Carrots.
And if you're wondering what Common had to say about that, well, he basically said that he was there for a good time and not a long time.
It was good for me and the lady. Right now, all I want is happiness, good times, peace on earth.
Yeah, this was amazing.
50-year-old man saying that shit. So, I mean, there's a lot of lessons in this. It just shows you that, I mean, Common is a real well-respected person in the community. Okay. He's well respected among men. But really, quite honestly, he's basically, in so many words, using women. He is using women. Now, this is where I try to help out so he doesn't have to take the hit for it, is to warn women that men like this are like this. If they have a track record for bouncing around, then that's what they are about. You're not going to change that. I think we all know that, but I need to say it anyway, just from a man's point of view. You're not going to change other men like Common with the same Common mentality to be loyal. He's just not a loyal guy. He's just not. When it comes to women, he's not a loyal guy. He's probably more loyal to his craft, and that's about it. I do. It's sad that I have to thank him for not being abusive, but still, I mean, you can still be nicely abusive by leading people on. You understand. See, Common understands. He's old enough to understand when a woman is looking for something more than a good time. Okay. And that's the problem with him is you wanna know something? That's a really hard trait to get rid of as a man. That player trait, that like, "Hey, I'm just out here to have a good time." That shit, a lot of old men in nursing homes had the same thinking. They died alone, okay, with that same mentality. "I had a good time." Look at Kevin Samuels. He wasn't in a nursing home, but, you saw what happened to him. 50-year-old man. He does not sound that's something a 22-year-old man might say. This is coming out of a guy who's in his 50s. Now, I understand that, that's just the way he can be any way he wants to be, but why are you gonna lead all these men on? That's the weird thing. Phoenix saw, "Oh, I had a brief encounter with a 59-year-old man who said that." Yeah. When you hear that phrase, you know what's up.
Major embarrassment for Tiffany. And at this point, we already knew that the relationship was pretty much over because they weren't on the same page. And when Tiffany started talking about how she wanted a lot of kids, we knew right then and there that it was over because Common has talked over and over about how he no longer wants kids.
It just shows you that he's just not a family guy. So, I mean, I need some questions answered, everybody. Why do ladies hitch their wagon to dudes like this? I mean, it's not like he's really hiding it. You just have to look at his past and it's all there. Welcome, new diamond in the house. New diamond in the house. Phoenix is in the house. Phoenix is in the house. Bridget's in the house. Red headphones in the house. Everybody's up in here. Everybody's up in here. We're gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep it going. A little more
At least
about
for
Common.
now. So when they announced their breakup, it took nobody by surprise because even Stevie Wonder could have seen it coming. Common claimed that the breakup was due to their very busy schedules.
Once
No, it had to do with just him doing what he does. It's always he's gonna run. I guarantee you, he's going to run out of excuses. I give him one more year. I give him one more year with this young lady he's with now, Jennifer Hudson, one of the best entertainers out there. He's gonna disrespect her as well. So anyway, let's get up. Let's get up to date with a few more things. We have to talk about this situation with Usher, which I don't think is a situation, but let's talk about it anyway. Here we go.
Hey y'all, it's your favorite Make sure you
Okay,
hit that
make sure you
subscribe.
hit your like and subscribe button for Unc. He's putting out some good stuff. So let me see if I can find that part I'm looking for because I don't want to. Where is it at? No, they just talk all the way through this mofo. Okay, hold on one second. Usher. And what was it? Usher. Come on now. Okay. Give me a second. Alicia Keys. Oh, okay. Alicia. I didn't know Alicia Keys made My Boo with him. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is all Urban Central. Let me get this on. Okay.
Correct now. Correct. Yeah. End of discussion.
Okay. Let me pause it right there because I want to show you what a hypocrite looks like. There's Boosie right there. Does anybody know anything about Boosie? I know something about Boosie. What I know about Boosie is this. And all I need to know about Boosie is this. Other than probably I'm not sure, No, this is what I'm sure about. This is a man who bought hookers for his 12-year-old sons. How is somebody with that kind of track record trying to even judge anyone? That is crazy to me. Thank you, Phoenix. Fair use, everybody. Fair use. But let's break it down and see what he has to say here. As this says, Boosie calls out Usher after touching Alicia Keys during it. It's like this.
Correct now. Correct.
No. That ain't correct. But yeah. I'm gonna buy some 304s for my kids, my 12-year-olds. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That ain't correct. But this is the funny thing. They're entertainers. This is about the 50th woman that I know of over the career of Usher that Usher has hugged of that I know of. I mean, really, actually, probably around 100. Who cares? It's crazy that Bridget, you're right. They must because the thing is enough. Look, this is that's what weak men do. Is what you just saw. Boosie has his own problems. He need to clean up that little sending his kids out to visit 304s and whatnot. That's something that's way beyond this right here. Whatever insinuation they were trying to make this as, I've seen nobody's hug like this because they know they're on stage, just they wanna woo the crowd. This is back in the day, we called this wooing the crowd. Yeah, Swiss Beats is good with it. Yes, Phoenix, you nailed it. You know, that's the crazy part. And how they're gonna let some munchkin come in and try to mess things up. Remember, first it was Kiki and now it's this. Boosie says it like this: "If Al Kelly wouldn't have gotten in trouble, his songs would have been amazing at a Super Bowl halftime show." Okay, that's on top. So on top of um buying some pros for his 12-year-olds, he now is defending a pedo. Let that sink in. DJ Torque. Just think, let that sink in. I can hear that voice now. I believe I can fly. Steps name him love. I wish. I wish. Look at this dude. He is literally oozing over a man that was put in prison for being an abuser and a pedo. That's amazing. But he's not the only one. A lot of men think that.
Pay me! Pay me! I told y'all! Don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I told y'all. I told.
By the way, Patrick Mahomes has other problems to deal with now, which is his dad and his brother. What a mess.
At the Super Bowl press run. Don't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
You know the shame of it all? Patrick Mahomes might be the first man that right after the Super Bowl had to go to the police department to bail out his father in football history. That'd be amazing.
What the you mean? Pay me. You mean?
Okay, so a guy who literally, again, I gotta keep on saying it. A dude who bought some pros for his kids that were 12, not 15, 12, okay, is out here getting mad because Usher's hugging up on Alicia Keys. The only thing I gotta say about Usher is this: that lucky mother. Oh, Alicia cute. I'm sorry, that's just the way it go. She's cute, beautiful, talented, amazing piano player. So yeah, it's funny. I think that the social media has allowed thugs to be more than who they really are. I really do believe that. They've allowed that to come through like that, where a regular thug can be seen as a respectable man. Will's doing. I mean, it's one thing that if you stopped doing it, but doing it, yeah. Let me just put it like that. Let me just put it like that. So that's pretty much. I mean, that's the thing that bothers me about Boosie is he's such a hypocrite. You know, it's not like he always wants to play that high and mighty crap when he's low and dirty. That bothers me. It bothers me a lot. I have to say that. So anyway, I want to jump into. I want to. I'm going to play this Ernesto piece just because we are going to go into the situation with infamous Sylvia, which is a whole lot. So here we go right now. I want to play this Ernesto piece. This is really This is how it is. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
What up, Flo? How you doing? Shit, wonderful. Wonderful.
Oh, Tevin, those lifestyle guy is in the house, along with Phoenix Soul, New Diamond. Let's go.
When I got down and get out there with you, goddamn, and get some of that fresh air, buddy. Damn. It's all good. You good, my nigga. Hey, everything been going good. Just trying to maintain, keep this shit going. You already know. They're trying to hold me down, but I got this shit under control. They can't hold the goddamn God fear man down now. They can't do that now. They ain't gonna be not at all. No. Hey, old girl told you I came in to visit you, but they wouldn't let me do it the same day, right? Yeah, she told me that. She told me, but that, I mean, that's cool. Yeah. But I'm signed up. I'll be there Saturday. Okay. You talked to the lawyer? I talked to him. Okay. He explained me what he want me to do. Okay, that's good. Sounding pretty promising to you, or what you think? I don't know. It sounds promising.
Oh, that's not a good look. He said, son, did you talk to the lawyer? Yeah, I talked to the lawyer. He told me what I need to do. So does it sound kind of promising? And Lamont goes, that's not a good look. I know what that means. I know what that means in bro talk. And that means that no, it does not look good. It does not look good at all.
I need to see what the fuck he talking about when I get there. Cause this shit is kind of like off to the side. It's kind of, sideways, but I see.
That what Lamont is trying to do is not seem so negative about a situation that is negative. That is not good. That is not what what I mean, that is not good at all. And it just shows you the situation that Ernesto put himself in.
Okay. I don't really understand him. Like I don't really understand him. I know you don't. But I'm he's kind of like I got you. Yeah, I already know what you're gonna say. Don't worry about that, player. That's the best. That's the best I done got so far. For real. Yeah, I'm just saying, like when I ask him certain questions, he really don't have the answers. So I just was like, okay.
That's not good. That's not good. That's not good at all. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is not a good feeling. When a lawyer, when a lawyer is evasive, their options. The next thing that's going to happen. The next thing's going to happen is that the lawyer is going to say, "Bro, you need to plea. You need to get that plea deal going. You need to get that plea deal going." That's what's going to happen.
He cool. He seemed like a pretty spiritual person. He seemed like he know what he's doing. I mean, for the amount of money, but Right. We'll see what it is. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a go though. Yeah. I think he's the motherfucking mind right. Go to that type. Big baby. Oh, for real? Yeah, big baby. I don't have time to fuck around. Shit.
Yeah. So anyway, they go on for a while, but that's just a little. Wanted just to play that to give you a little taste of what's going on. Now, let's dig into it. Remember this. This is infamous Sylvia, right?
Not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will hold.
Now, I wanted to play that religious stuff because of Okay, so she's all godly and on the God tip, right? You know, infamous Sylvia, right? But this is happening. This is happening.
Small detail was missed. All right,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, I didn't put the tags in there, but you guys are here. This is a breaking story. I tried to break it Sunday, but we had a small detail not correct. But within the last hour, blogger infamous Sylvia was taken into custody by the Fulton County Sheriff Department on outstanding warrants. This happened as the
There you go. Remember, yes, the reason why I gotta play this is if y'all remember my last live stream and I was playing Infamous Sylvia and they were going back and forth about legal issues with in reference to with Sonya in reference to Ernesto, right? And I was saying that they're gonna get themselves in trouble. Well, it turns out she already did. She got herself in trouble because what she did was she stalked somebody. Technically, that's what they're calling it. She stalked somebody. Now she's saying that person was stalking her, right? But she put an Apple tag on this dude's car and people started following him around. Let me keep playing that.
start of a continuation.
Yeah, Phoenix Soul. She had warrants. She has warrants. Yeah, and here's the funny thing. Guess where they picked her up from? Guess where they picked her up in the chat. Type where you think they picked her up. Where did they pick her up from? You know, from you know, to take her into custody. You will never guess. I will count to 10 and then I will tell everybody. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The courtroom. Yeah, outside the jailhouse. You nailed it. Outside the jailhouse.
Of the YSL trial, where infamous Sylvia was about to start streaming, and she was interrupted by the sheriffs. And these warrants were known to me.
Man, okay.
For about, I guess, about 2 weeks. Try to share with you guys, but you guys thought that I had an axe to grind. No, what happened on Sunday was police came to her home.
Yeah, he's got a small slur. He must have recently had a stroke or something. That's weird. Recently could be a year or 2, by the way. But yeah. Yeah, because he was the one who had told people that she had been arrested before when she had not been arrested. What happened is they went to serve her warrant and she wasn't there at the spot where he said they were. So, but he thought she had, been arrested. Now he's trying to clean it up.
Home, apparently she disappeared and reappeared. She initially said on her live she was visiting her mother, who's in New York, but apparently she teleported herself back to Georgia within an hour and got on her live. But this is a breaking story. Infamous Sylvia has been taken into custody by the Fulton County Sheriff Department. She's being processed on 2 misdemeanor warrants. These are 2 misdemeanor warrants.
Okay, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Like and subscribe. Ain't no job. It's free. So,
which means she'll probably be out tomorrow. I'm guessing tomorrow, unless there's some other.
Yeah, misdemeanor warrants. Misdemeanor warrants. So let's see if I can bring up. Let me hold on 1 second. Let me get rid of that. Let me see if I can find that. Let's see if Phone Jones can break it down a little bit better. But let me pause this for 1 second.
Jonesy babes.
Let me pause it for you. This is what we were talking about. Not just me, but everyone was talking about before about how people pretend to be religious, but they do unreligious things. And your actions speak louder than words. That's basically, I know it sounds very generic, but your actions, they speak louder than words. I mean, you're out here, you know, you know, speaking the word of God to a man with who caught several cases. Let's just put it that way, right? And you're speaking like you're coming from a place of faith, solid um, character, stability, all of that. But you got warrants. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up.
And
Phone
my anonymous
Jones.
Jonesy babes.
Phone Jones in the house. Break it down.
So, okay, a lot is going on today. A lot is going on today. Now, I received 2 emails about Sylvia's arrest. Okay, I heard she got arrested. And I know Dennis Byron talked about it. Nyla talked about it from Grown Woman Vibes. And who else talked about it? Is somebody else. I think Vila Noor talked about it. Okay.
Okay, so basically that's a scoop. Um, basically, again, it was over some stalking ish, and that's not good. Let me give Phone Jones a like. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe this live stream. Okay. Um, that just shows you, it just to me really it just her getting arrested. Yes, Bridget, I believe she did get out on bail. She did get out. Or she did get out or she is on the process. Yeah, 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 Phoenix. Only 8 likes. Come on, y'all. There's 16 up in here. Come on now. Putting in some work. But anyway, let's not worry about that. But yeah. And it's weird that somebody who is, it makes sense to me because number one, she defended R. Kelly. 2, she's defending another creep, as in Ernesto, right? 3, she's pals with Sonya. And 4, she's got warrants. I mean, the thing is this: when you put a phone tag on somebody's car, that's pretty stalkerish. That's really stalkerish. You know, you just don't do that and think that's going to go away. I mean, that's like, wow, that's crazy. Breaking on with Monique.
What's up, you guys? So, comedian Monique's oldest son, Shalon, is
Let me
speaking
bring this down a little bit. I think the volume is a little bit hot. Bring it down to here. Now, this guy does not look like the guy that was talking. Maybe his face changed shape when he got older, but he doesn't look like this anymore.
and it's nothing nice. So we're going to get into that in this video. But first, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe and everyone click.
All right, this is Layla Lynn. Let's get to
the
it.
thumbs up button. Now, before we get into what Monique's son said about her, I just want to explain who he is in her life. He's her oldest son, Shalon Jackson, and then she has a middle son, Mark Jackson, and then she has her twins by her current husband, Sidney Hicks, Jonathan Hicks and David Hicks. But Shalon and Mark, even though they have the same last name, from what I saw on her bio, they don't have the same father. It says Monique was married to Shalon Watkins Sr., who she met in broadcasting school and had son Shalon Watkins Jr. in 1990. And so that's the son that is speaking out today. That's the son that's speaking out in this video. And at one point, Monique did admit that she wasn't a great mother to him. She wasn't interested in being a mother at the time that he was a young child. So I want y'all to hear what she said. This is a podcast with David Banner. I want y'all to hear what she said and then listen to what her son is saying now on TikTok.
Time that when he was a little boy, I wasn't interested in being a mother. I was interested in being a star. And I was interested in being famous. And I wasn't interested in being a wife. I was interested in taking pictures and red carpets and signing autographs and traveling the world. So I didn't really put the focus in. And now that I'm 52 and he'll be 30, well, I pay for that. There's a price you have to pay for that. And I had to apologize to my son.
So this was back in 2020.
Okay, so that was that. The thing is this is the problem is this. This is the problem. She ain't the only one. I would say most entertainers, this is what's up. Not even just entertainers, people in the community. But it's mostly men in the community. Because that's just the way it is. That's what the stats say.
When she did that interview with David Banner and said that she was not interested in being a good mother. So when you hear him explain what he explains in this video, that's what he's referring to, his life as a young child, his life as Monique's son.
Hi, I am Shalon. I am a stand-up comedian, Monique's oldest son. I guess I felt the need to make this video to just provide some context into this false narrative about her.
Okay, let me see how famous Shalon is. Hold on one second. He said he's a stand-up comedian. So Shalon. So okay, so at least he followed in his mother's footsteps. What's his last name? Lon Watkins, was it? Watkins. Okay, let's see what he did. Let's see what he can do. Where's the show? Come on, Shalon. If you're any good, you got a show somewhere. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for him doing one of his shows. Marvin Phipps, nope. Sunday. Let's see what I got here. If he's a stand-up comedian, he's not very famous. I mean, I'm not gonna say okay, yep. I only see drama. Does he even have his own channel? I see everybody but him. You know what I mean? I see everybody but him. Wow. Okay, so he's a nobody, basically. He can say he's a stand-up comedian, but you know, I don't see too much. Seven says this. There's a price to pay for having unprotected sex when you're grown. I could have understood if she had him when she was a teen. Tevin, she was married, I believe, to the guy. So I don't know. Was he? I'll look into that, but I believe she was married. Phoenix is saying, Torch is putting people on rotisserie tonight. Hey, I by accident. Let's keep this going. Let's keep it going. Here we go. Okay. Wait. Oh, wait. Here we go. Okay.
I know to reconcile our relationship or whatever the hell it is. I wrote it all down so that way I don't go all over the place and get emotional or anything like that. So I'm gonna talk like I'm reading a script, but it's just gonna help me kind of stay together.
Exactly. You know something, Phoenix Soul, that was my feeling. That was my thought as well. That was my thought as well, Phoenix Soul, is that he's clout chasing too. And you know something though? This is the most justified form of clout chasing one can have because I mean, if he's clout chasing off of his own mom, that is about as wholesome of clout chasing you're gonna ever get in the universe. Because if anybody you're gonna clout chase off of, it would be your own parents. That would to me, that I'm down with that. Welcome Eden Adele in the house. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Eden Adele. Let me see what she's saying. Okay, I don't think he's saying he's a stand-up comedian. He's introducing himself as a stand-up comedian, Monique's eldest son. Oh, okay. Maybe my ears. Thank you, Eden Adele, for clearing that up. So yeah, he should have had one or two videos if he was a stand-up comedian. So yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That cleanup. But anyway, let me keep it going. Let me see what else she's gonna say. But let me play it back a little bit just to see if I was right. Here we go.
Stand-up comedian Monique's oldest son.
That's what he's
Okay.
referring to. His life as a young
Okay.
child. His
That's
life
what he
as
said.
Monique.
I am Shalon. I am a stand-up comedian Monique's oldest son.
Okay. So that's what it is. Um, Adele. He just misspoke it. It just sounds weird. Eden Adele. It just sounds like he said it. He didn't really say it with clarity. He didn't say, I am Monique's eldest son, stand-up comedian, blah, blah. It kind of got garbled together. Okay, got it. Here we go.
I guess I felt the need to make this video to just provide some context into this false narrative about her praying to the universe in order to reconcile our relationship or whatever the hell it is. I wrote it all down so that way I don't go all over the place and get emotional or anything like that. So I'm gonna talk like I'm reading a script, but it's just gonna help me kind of stay together. But to address,
I don't get it. Does he think this is going to fix everything by, putting everybody on Front Street? I don't get it.
the Club Shay interview that she did where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd. My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie. Faith without work is dead. Neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son. Neither one of us has had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time. And I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning. Speaking with my mother directly, in my experience, will either lead to some odd newfound moment of clarity in regards to how she was as my mother, or she retreats back to daddy to move forward with a conversation. And I'm tired of hearing my mother's truths. Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you noble. I'm not sure if people are aware of that.
I don't know what I would like to know what his goal is because I've never seen these mother and son things turn out well. Remember when what was his name? Herschel Walker's son came out and roasted him? So yeah, this is just interesting. Oh, Phoenix O broke it down. Phoenix O broke it down. Let's see if Phoenix O said it. Yeah, right. New Diamond. I don't like my mother, so so yeah, no, yeah. Phoenix O says this. No, he's a millennial. This is what they do. I have an estranged kid. I have to deal with their internet bashing, and I ain't famous. Yeah, it's weird. That's just crazy. That is just crazy. All right. Let me keep this going.
But responding this way, I feel as though it allows me to say my piece uninterrupted. To those wondering, well, why say something now? Call it a form of therapy for me, I suppose. But when her daddy had intentionally stated that they have 3 sons, but his wife is on the internet talking about the 4th son in a video that has millions of views, that rubbed me the wrong way.
Okay, see right there, that tells me that that's not he shouldn't really be caring about that. He should be caring about whether he wants a relationship with his mom or not. She didn't talk about him in a way that was defamatory or insulting. So all she did was bring him up. I hate these situations where somebody brings up somebody's name and all of a sudden somebody else wants to make a whole story like, "Oh, wow," like the whole interview she had with Shay was about him, you know, about her son makes tries to make the whole her son tries to make the whole Shay Shay interview about him. It's like he feels like this is the only time opportunity he has to be, you know. Yeah, it's just whining. You're right. Here we go.
But anyway, to inform a child that you are not interested in being a mother at a time when that kid is the only kid that has the potential to lead a child to believe that you are not interested in them specifically. But to take it a step further, you also admit my mother had also admitted to me that she didn't do the best job that she could do.
You know how many parents I've heard say that? Most parents feel like they can do a better job. Most, if not all. I can say that. And that it spans across races, by the way. I've heard that from different cultures of men and women. They always feel like they could have done a better job. So for him to kind of make this where he's, you know, setting his fishing pole down, is kind of a strange thing to me. It's like that's what most parents feel like they could have done a better job, even if they done an amazing job. I'm not saying that Monique did, but I'm just saying that he's using a very overused and overly stated phrase.
Um, which would also make one begin to question, all of your past decisions and prior emotional interactions. But to be completely honest and fair, um, those were things that I was willing to get over. Nobody's perfect, we're all human. But my mother showed a clear lack of humility, compassion, and consideration when taking any level of accountability for those things.
Well, see, now I understand that he's upset, but you have to understand what he's talking about. I hate to say it, is not his business. He is not his mother's father. He is not his mother's mother. He needs to focus on either getting over this, either setting you either like the thing is this is just tells me his pathology, his shortcomings. Because somebody doesn't you don't do this. You want to if you really are feeling something, feeling a certain way about, another person, you take it to a personal place. You go to a therapist or something like that and you fix it. You know, you don't yeah, you don't throw shade on somebody, especially somebody that you might have to depend on. He does not look like he's the most wealthy man in the world, if you know what I mean. So you might need some of his mama's help later on. And so I'm kind of shocked that he's talking like this. Let me break out what Eden Adele said right here. I wish they would take would all take me out to a group chat and stop gumming up my timelines and get I hear that. Uh, I mean, the thing is this, Tevin says Phoenix Soul says this to Tevin. Tevin, lifestyle guy, not saying she doesn't, but he also could have went to her with that. Exactly. Why answer publicly if you're so over it? Right. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Here we go.
My mother does a fantastic job of acknowledging a lot of things, but she doesn't take accountability very well, and anything that she may take.
Again, it is what it is, bro. You're 32. If let me break it down like this. If he continues to do this, if he continues to um blame his mom, he's going to hurt himself more because everything that he doesn't do right, he's going to blame on his mom. Okay? And quite honestly, it's yeah, let's just keep it going. Let's see where we're going to go with this.
Take true accountability forwards only at her convenience, in my experience. But if I had to guess, though, her interest in being a mother probably started around the time that she married her daddy and had his children. But that interest, obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been.
I will say this. I know of people in even other cultures that have gone through feelings like this, but they're not on the internet talking about it. They might talk it through with the person the person in question. They don't do this. I understand what he's going through, and I'm sorry that he went through what he did. And Monique was wrong for not treating her child better. I can see that, but he this is not going to help anything. This is not going to help anything at all.
By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the excuse me, the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate. I guess you could say there are now two baby boys in the
Okay, so
house, that require attention. But still, during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own. To this very day, my mother has never expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son.
let me pause that. That's really a false statement because basically the thing is that people don't interact with each other like that. They don't say, "Oh yeah, I am interested in you being a son now." Nobody says that kind of crap. So it's kind of strange the way that he's doing it. This is just weird. Maybe he's this is weird. It's strange. Phoenix Phoenix says this. Well, hell, who passed out manuals? Bars. We just did the best we could. Bars. But mom did. Bars. I worked my tail off though. Bars. Exactly. Thank you, Phoenix. Sometimes kids will never appreciate it. And some kids will appreciate nothing and some kids won't appreciate everything. And he's one of those kids. I quite honestly, I think on banners, this he ate it up. He's using it as he's using it as an opportunity more than he's using it as some way to build a relationship with his mom. Because obviously, why would if you didn't want a relationship with your mom, right? Not say anything unless your goal was to shame that person. Dollar super chat. Thank you, thank you for calling this out this out eloquently and evenly. Yeah, I mean Phoenix Soul is like family family problems should be s- solved within the family, not on the internet. Him doing this tells me that really I mean, it's not a good look. Now, I heard that uh daddy was talking about that this young man has he has some psychological issues, which this could be playing into it. But the bottom line is this is that He knows this man is old enough to know, and he seems to be articulate enough to know that shaming your parents online is not a good thing to do. It's kind of classless, really. I My kid has done this on Phoenix Soul is saying my kid has done this on the same thing on her platform to get people to pay her bills quite a few times. I'm just saying, and that's terrible. And you want to know something? Uh, it it seems like sometimes people will use anything they can to make that dollar. Um, and in some ways, if you think about it, it's sometimes even worse than the infract. That them doing that is worse than the infraction itself. You know, I mean, look at it this way. Here is a perfect example. Remember my live stream on Mr. Let Himself Go, Mr. Let Go? His mom did everything for him. She had to go from place to place, working shitty jobs and everything to shit, avoided abusive had to avoid abusive men and everything, living, they had to sleep on sofas and shit. Never and never it never occurred to him that his dad left, and he treated his mom like crap, in my opinion. He taught he the he had to run around. He had to run around Link on the way. Um, Mr. Let Himself Go ran around looking for his dad. Dad ran from him. He finally cornered his dad. His dad gave him a lukewarm excuse, and then he turned around and took a poo poo on his mom. That was Mr. Let Himself Go. That's what he did. In video. Unless he took it down, that's what he did. I just link is dropped. Mystic Moon is in the house. Mystic Moon, good to see you. Let's break it down like this. DJ, I don't think this was the best way to respond, but why are you dragging this young man? Monique already said that she was a terrible mom. Why are you dragging this man? The reason why is because Mystic, he shouldn't be on. It's the same reason the same reason that you're thinking that is the same reason that I'm thinking, why is he dragging his mom? His mom already owned up to it. So why is he going to pile on? That's first. That's the number one thing. And then the second thing is, um, I'm not dra it's most parents, okay, will feel they could have done a better job. Will say they could have done a that better job. And the and but they don't but the kids don't turn around and hurt them because of it. That's the key. I mean, he I'm dragging him because he's dragging her after she had already admitted that she was a bad parent. So he's dragging him. I'm dragging him because he's dragging her after she already dragged herself on national TV. I think I'm trying to make it as simple as I can. I think I got it. So that's where I was coming from because I have seen and also Mystic, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I have seen women put everything into their children or their child and only to turn around and get dogged out by them. You know, why didn't you buy me a BMW when I became 16? I've seen shit like that too. I wanted a purple suit. You bought me a blue suit. It's like, I guess that's where I'm coming from. But anyway, Phoenix Soul, welcome to the stage. Lou? Phoenix, I think you're on mute. Are you okay? Lou?
Hello? Hello, can you hear
Oh,
me
there
now?
you go. Sir can.
Hello? Sweet. You can hear me now, y'all. Okay, so we about to get into some serious shit right now. Hopefully. But I don't know, this something I had to say, so I'm about to take this shot. Listen. Um, I think that because like I told you, this when I saw his video, this is triggering for me. I have a daughter, and she didn't she wasn't born at a great time in my life. All right. And I was way worse than Monique. So, but the point I'm getting at here is she has her own social media platform. Last I heard, she got quite a big following. But I also heard that she does this thing where there's a lot of her bashing me. And the only reason I heard this is because I had some stalkers. Now I'm minding my business. She and I have went no contact years ago. And I'm minding my business, and here I have people coming over to me like, oh, but my name used to be something else on social media, put it that way, because people were coming over and harassing me. Now, but I came to a point where I realized something. If that's the way that she needed to heal, if that's the way that she feels like she needs to deal with whatever happened between us, with her upbringing, that's fine. I don't have to be present for it. I had already reached a point in my life, and I feel like, even I'm not gonna say Mo is 100% right. But if she's reached a point with it in her life where she's just like, I was a horrible mother. For her to come out and say that thing, it takes a lot for mothers to get to that point. To get
Right.
to that point where they're just not saying, we've all had parents say, well, I did the best I could. No, no. Going deeper with that is saying truths that she's mentioning. She's like, I just didn't want to be a mother. That takes a lot for a mother to say. Now, by the same token, of course, that's going to hurt the child to hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're both being truthful here. Truth is not black and white. 2, 3, 4 things can be true at the same time. So I don't feel like you're dragging him. We have Mo has already, held herself accountable. But for him to come out and do this publicly, he is showing us that he is still hurt. He's still hurt.
Right.
And there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. But that being said, the reason I say it's a millennial thing, and I digress, could be just opinionated. But, millennials are the first ones I saw do it. But because I will not sit here and tell you that my mother was, listen, my mother was not a good mother. She was not good at it. Nobody in my life that I ever grew up with said that she was good at it. Now, she still has yet to figure that out or even say it. But there is no way that I would say go out publicly and say things like that. If
Right.
if excuse me, I would never. You don't show that you're healed and a healed person by coming out and purposely to hurt other people.
Right.
They got a saying, hurt people. He's still hurt. That's why he did that. That's why he's doing it that way. We didn't know who he was. He never spoke out before, but now she's on Club Shay Shay. Cat Williams was just on Club Shay Shay. You know, Shay Shay's getting big, so he jumping on the train, and I don't fault him for that.
Yeah, hold on one second. Mystic Moon, please do come up. I'm gonna drop the link one more time. My thing is
I
this:
just,
is that I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going, Phoenix.
mm-mm.
Okay. Um, my thing is this: is that I understand how it may seem because he. I mean, let's face it. That it sounds like to me that he didn't get the attention he needed or the treatment he wanted from
Definitely
Mo,
not.
but it just sounds like this is not the platform to solve his problem or fix his feelings.
And that's the part of it I get that you were saying, you know. But also at the same time, you know, I feel that same way, you know, with my kid. I wish she wouldn't have, you know, went on social media to do that, but that's her thing, and I have to be okay with that.
Okay, who was the guy who played Forrest Gump? I forgot his name.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks gave his son everything, right? Gave his son everything. Did you see how his son turned out?
No, I don't know anything about this situation.
Oh my God. Oh. Okay. Let's Tom Hanks' son is very angry and bitter. Let's put it that way. And you know how Tom Hanks is clean cut, very articulate, very, I mean, hell, I think he's got a star on. He's probably one of the most notable actors in Hollywood, right? His son is a has made a point of turning into a thug.
Wow.
So he went be and the thing is this, there's just some people that they just are mad. They're just mad. If and what I'm saying is this is like uh Phoenix says this. I came here and instantly subscribed. I compliment everyone, but I have no family. Y'all serious and y'all seriously are all I got. And my daughters and house plans and my daughters in house plans. I just had to learn to move forward. I understand. I understand, Phoenix. I'm so
And we
glad
love
that
you
you're
for
here.
that.
We love you too. But that's what this spot is for. Whether there's 12 people or 120 people, that's what it's all about. I would love to hear from Mystic. Her voice is so relaxing. Um, yeah,
It is
yeah. This okay.
relaxing.
Mystic Moon says this guy is not Tom Hanks. I wasn't saying the guy was Tom Hanks. I was saying that Tom Hanks' son was. My point was is that Tom Hanks' son, um, I mean, Tom Hanks' son feels the same way. He's acting out in a different way. He's acting out in a different way. He didn't do it online, but it's very common in the entertainment industry for this to happen. Uh, um, Let me break it down like this. Mo said, "Okay, uh, guys, this is not Tom Hanks. We know that." Mo said she was not a good parent. What does Tom Hanks have to do with this? He wasn't a good parent either, apparently by his son. How do we know Tom Hanks was a good parent? No, I'm saying that I think he treated his child good, but I'm not saying he's a great parent. What I'm saying is that his son was acting out in the wrong in a negative way as well. It's not really parents try and it might be wrong. They might be wrong for what they did. I am not saying that Monique was a good parent to this young man, not a bit. But I will say that um the way that he's acting out, just like Tom Hanks' son was acting out, is not the problem solver. That's what I'm saying.
How we get here?
Yeah, no. No, well, no, I mean, this is important. I mean, this is, if anything, this is exactly what you know, I mean, Valentine's Day, this is exactly what we should be talking about when you think about it. Family, friends, and loved ones.
Yeah, you got a
Um,
point.
but yeah, basically the thing is this, I understand Mystic Moon's, point. It's just that it's sad to see somebody act out online something that should be personal.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be knowing about this. The only person who should be seeing this is a therapist or other or maybe a good pastor, not these days, you know.
Well, I'm not going to even go so far as to say should because I try my very best not to deal in shoulds because different people have their way, which is why, I told you if that's the way that my daughter chooses to deal with it, that's fine.
Mhm.
Has it bridged a gap? I mean, the gap between us? No. Will it? Probably not.
Right.
But I had to realize that this is her process. It's not something I would have done.
Right. I mean, telling perfect strangers um about hurtful things in your life, I know people make money off of it, but I just don't think
Mhm.
it really helps.
It's where we are, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. True.
But you're right. I mean, it doesn't, but it does give people something to talk about. It does drive traffic, to a person's page. My sister happens to keep in touch with, she happens to follow my daughter, and last I heard, she had quite a huge following, and she's able to pay her bills that way. I can't knock it. All I
Mm.
know is who I am today. You know, now with what Mystic Moon was saying about Mo, yeah, like, it doesn't mean that she still can't have some level of truth in her. You know what I mean? The greatest lie is filtered with truth.
Right.
So she could be praying to the universe for this, but I mean, we know how these things work. She's got to be a vibrate energetic match for whatever she's asking for. Obviously, what he's showing us is that she's not a match, or because it hasn't happened, or maybe, just maybe, she was doing this publicly to pull him out. We don't know that, but they are choosing to work it out this way. Would it be something that I would choose? Would I choose to work out my issues? No,
Right.
no, no.
I don't
But
see how this is helping either person involved really at all. Um, unless they're
come
gonna
on,
do,
Mister.
yeah, unless they're gonna do some sort of, I don't know, what do you call it? A reunion part, a reunion live stream, and everybody will watch.
Or like
Maybe
Iyanla fix my life.
boom, boom, yeah. Man, and that's the funny thing is I can't even say her name. Is has her own problems. I mean, it's funny that she was like, "Oh yeah, you won't marry a bus driver," but Yalnia got it with a couple bus drivers, and it didn't turn out too well. Let's just put it that way. So
Why are you on that subject? It's so funny that she's steadily out here advocating for black women to do something that hasn't worked for her yet. And she what, 80? I'm just saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the thing is this is that I'm kind of confused because with Ianyala because the goal is that you can show people the results of your labors as far as relationships or something. But it seems like to me she's sending women to be what should I say? What should I call it? The sheeps into the wolves because it's like, wait a minute, y'all, you just had your ex was putting hands and feet on you. He cheated on you all the time he could, and but you made a lot more money and you were more notoriety. You had more notoriety than he did. So, what's up? You know what I mean?
Facts.
So
Facts.
I was really shocked. I would have thought that she would have been more on Ebony's side of that conversation instead of the let any old guy, give any old guy a chance. So as long as he has a job, basic conversation, if you know what I mean.
Mm,
So
yeah.
okay, Mystic Moves is in the back. I'm just waiting for her mic to get set up. But oh, there we go. Okay, so but yeah. So yes, basically, let's see, Phoenix, Bridget, no, thank you. My mom hated me, so I look up to other women, young and old. Y'all, I wasn't meant to. It wasn't meant for me. And the lady to forward, I accept that. All right, Mystic Moon, welcome to the stage. How you doing tonight?
Hey, hey, can you hear me okay?
You sound
Yeah.
perfect.
Hey, lady.
Hey, Phoenix, how are you? Um,
Doing
I promise
good.
I'll keep it short because I know it can be a
Morning.
little long-winded. But I was just listening to the discussion about Monique's son. What is his name again? Do you know? Do we know his name?
Um,
It doesn't matter if you don't know what.
Shalom Watkins.
Shalom. I personally don't think that he should have gone online either. So I am in agreement that unless there's a very specific, I'm sure that there are situations where it is a good idea to go online, but for the most part, I think we can kind of all agree that you try to work these things out behind the scenes. So I am in agreement on that. However, I think we're judging him just a little too harshly. And the reason I say that is, um, one, we've never actually seen his face or heard him out in the media talking about her before, like none of that.
That's true.
This is like the first time, like I didn't even know what any of her kids looked like. That's how little that he's talking to the media. I've heard her speak on him a few times before, but I've never heard him, seen his face or anything. So we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, like what interactions they're actually having in real time. And so he could have heard something and said, "Wait a minute. Okay, I'm tired of this. Like I'm tired of you bringing my name up." He wasn't disrespectful. He didn't raise his voice. He was emotionally regulated. Like I said, I don't
You think
agree.
so? You think he was emotional? I mean, just see, you saw the demeanor and the listen. My mother, blah blah blah, bam bam bam. She ain't never okay, and you ain't gotta almost in like a. I don't want to say it's condescending because I don't. It's very condescending tone. So you think
Yeah,
that was emotional? You think we couldn't catch that shade that he was
no,
throwing?
no, no. There was shade there, so I stand corrected. You're correct. There was some patronizing um
Yeah.
parts in there, but is it to how do I say this? Is it to the degree that we're making it out to be? We were just discussing her interview, and it seemed like one. Let me back up because I don't want to say anything ugly about anybody. Um,
It's okay. Go ahead.
Hey,
I
that's
guess
what
what
this
I'm
for.
I guess what I'm saying is if we can have a woman who's mentioned more than once, because I know for a fact of two times that she's mentioned this, of how terrible of a mother she is. or that she was her son, and that she didn't want to even be a mother at the time. Can could you imagine what this child went through?
But
Like,
but
it's one thing to not have your father, but to your mother, that is a whole nother level of trauma that is just too profound for even words. So
You got a point.
I guess what I'm saying is, while I think that he shouldn't be online, why is the conversation what it is? It seems that just because he's male, that he's getting more heat for this. And I
Mhm.
listen, I am woman centered. If there's anybody, I don't know if there's anybody more woman centered than me, okay? But
no,
because
it's
I'm
not that
always
it's not that he's male. It's that the fact of the matter is that it seems like he's the feeling I get is that number one, he I don't believe Monique brought him up, and I mean she made it clear that oh yeah I was a great parent. She said the opposite. She said she was a shitty parent. It sounds like to me he's kind of like putting salt on the wound because it obviously bothered her. I mean, obviously it bothers her.
well, I
So
mean, she's a big girl. Like she's a grown
right,
woman.
but
And
he's
and he's a
pretty
grown
grown
man.
Mhm.
himself. I mean, he's 32.
Ooh.
I
I just thought,
agree.
oh man, I just
They're
you got my mind going, mister, because I could look at this two different ways. And one way I see where you're coming from, that you're saying like, you know, are we coming that hard on him because he's male speaking out? And this is no, this is what they do though. This is how the black man do anyway.
It just
Badmouth
sounds
black
like to
women
me it
on a
just sounds
public
like
stage, right?
yeah,
Go
it
ahead.
just sounds like to me he would have been a lot more productive if he and Monique took this into to a room together,
Yes,
specifically with a mediator or something like that, or a therapist.
yes,
Doing it like
yes.
this to me, I guess what bothers me is it seems like it's just putting more gas on the fire, and
It
it's
kind of feels. Go ahead.
but when you
yeah, I mean,
listen to her response, when you listen to Monique's response to it,
She responded.
that yeah, she responded, and
Okay,
to me that was
didn't
very
see.
telling because
I didn't see it.
all she did was kind of like do these backflips. It was I'm like, "Are you for real?" All these
She's not
backflips in
prepared.
her response, and then the response quickly moved on to Tyler Perry. Um,
Mm.
and that
right.
is what
I
I
know why
think.
she did that.
But
I am
listen, if
I
that was DJ, I'm sorry. If that had happened to me and my kid had said something like that, my thought, my response would have been humility. Because if you can be humble all of this time, bringing up the situation between you and your first son that we didn't know anything about without her telling us. Why is
mhm.
it that when he responds, given, like I said, he should not have done this online, but it wasn't like this over the top, like dragging, like yelling in the camera type of thing.
Does it
No,
So
have
I
to
she
mean,
be
could have
from
I
some
still
wouldn't
been,
say
point to be
that.
that?
she could have
Does it
been,
have to be?
I'm sorry, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead. I apologize.
No, I'm just asking. Does it have to be something over the top in order for us, to uh, be critical of it? Does it have to be a
No,
big
it
show and
doesn't have
tell?
to be. It doesn't have
Yeah,
to be.
my
And I hear
my
what you're
thing is
saying.
that it's not that he didn't wasn't that he was yelling. That I understand and I respect him. I respect him for not yelling, but he was pretty damn condescending. I mean, he sounded like he was Mo's father. That's what
Of
he sounded like
course,
to me.
You know what he
of
sounded like to
course.
me? He could have been. He might as well have been saying, "Y'all don't believe this bitch."
Right. And why is that a bad thing? Because this is what, hear me out. If
Just I
he
don't know.
is
That's
saying,
just what I was getting from.
if he is ultimately saying, y'all, I've never said, this is what I got from it. I've never said anything. I've moved on. I have my own family, XYZ, but she keeps talking on my name. And in that moment, of course, Shannon Sharp was the one who brought him up, but it could have been her response that just triggered him, where he was just like, "Look, I'm gonna just clear this up. We are not we're not in you don't have to wish anything about us coming together again. I wish you well in your life, but we're not going. This is not going to ever get resolved." I We don't know what level, if a mother could stoop so low to say that. It's one thing if like you were on drugs or something like that to where your mind was messed up, but if you could stoop so low to where you can say, I just didn't want to be a mother,
Mm.
and I was focusing on my career, and I know I was a
I
terrible
guess
mother. If you could stoop so low to be that, what makes me think that everything that you're saying right now is, are you still in that energy? Are you still, and here's the thing, here is to me a better example. We can say what we want about the Smith family, right? You can say that they're cuckoo and all this stuff. But one thing I will say is I admire um Jada's mom, because she also says she was a horrible mother, and she was able to turn that thing around. I don't know how they turned it around, but they turned it around, and she was a excellent grandmother, and she's an excellent mother to her as an adult. So
Very good
I'm
point.
not in the
Very good
game of
point.
condemning people to hell for not making good decisions at one point in their life, because once you know better, you will be able to do better. That isn't the issue that I have. Like, people, we all have things that we're ashamed of that we've done, right? That we want forgiveness for. I'm all for the forgiveness bit. I just don't understand the level of nitpicking at his response to the degree that we are, when this young man did not have a mother experience.
You know,
That is traumatic.
question. I have a question for you on that.
Yeah.
So,
Wasn't a
could
virgin.
not we also could not we also say the same thing about black males when they are sitting on podcasts and online in any capacity, degrading and berating black women? Could we
Yes,
not also say the same thing, that um, we are being too harsh on them because um, of what they've had to grow up with? We don't know what they had to endure. We
that's
don't
fair.
know the type of mother that they had.
That's
Mm.
fair. And I understand the point that you're making. I do. But I don't, while it's technically the same thing, you're absolutely right. It sort of isn't, because this is not somebody who's sitting up online bashing his mother every day. This is
True,
somebody who finally responded because
true.
he heard his name. And we don't know if maybe he was just fed up and he just had enough. So it's not the same thing. If you had been telling me that he had been dragging Mo for years, then I wouldn't even say anything. I'd be like, he is dead wrong. Like, I wouldn't even want to hear it, because I'm just like, you're just dragging her when she's already apologized. She's already trying to be. Then I would be on your side in this scenario. But that's not what's
Okay.
happening here.
When you say it that way, because like I said, I mean, I've admitted something. This is public and it's gonna be on the internet forever. Thanks, Torch. Um, but it was
Hey,
triggering for me because I was seeing it from a lens of being a parent who um, made a complete 180. And so I saw it from that angle. of a parent who was very apologetic and did make the attempts to um, have my child in my life, and then decided to, let it be. So I get your point.
I think I think to some degree maybe we all project um our situation,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in your situation it sounds like you made the 180 and then you genuinely tried to make it right, and she's not ready to do that yet, so you have to step away. That's admirable. And I'm not saying that that's I don't the point I'm making is I don't know which way Monique leans. She may literally be like you where
That's
you're like
true.
she saw the error of her ways and legitimately tried to turn this thing around, right?
At the level of consciousness that she's at, though,
Mhm.
because like you were saying about what we were discussing last, the other show,
Mhm.
the level of consciousness where she's at, she probably genuinely believes this is her best effort. We
Yeah,
can see
that may
through
be
that.
true. That may be true.
We we can see, through that and sort of spot the nuances, but that's not the case, with the general public.
So then if we can spot the nuances in what she was saying, like the parts where we thought, really sounded legitimate and the parts that sounded a little like pandering or a little bit like manipulation or whatever, I guess what I'm saying is if we can pick out the nuances in what she said and how she said it, um, w- I think yes, we should be critical of him for bringing this online, but to me, it wasn't that we are being critical. It just the energy that was going towards him seemed like you guys were giving a 10 when maybe you should be giving a 4.
I
Yeah,
agree with that. I can
he
agree with
needs to
that.
be checked because you don't why are you you don't want to why are you going online? But at the same time, we don't know the full story, and I don't know the full story about Mo. Like maybe she really is manipulating everything, right? And
Yeah, we can see that.
um and he is justified, right? In him saying
Yeah,
it the way that he said it. Or it could be that she's just like you, where she legitimately has done her very, very best to make this right and is giving a real effort. And he is like sort of in his bitterness and is not willing to let her in. The point I'm making is
yeah,
I have no idea which way it leans with Mo, left or right, but what I do know
exactly.
is he has not, based on what we know, he has not been behaving in the media the way that some of these other men that we kind of like, sort of like stories and stuff that we have been watching and listening to. He has not been doing that. And I don't get the energy from him that he's dragging Black women and trying not to be accountable and all of that. That hasn't come across fully in his how he tried to articulate himself.
I can agree with that.
I just it's the intensity of us going after him that I'm concerned about. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I, I would say this. I mean, I agree with you as far as in fact, I totally understand where you're coming from. It just seems like I mean, it sounds like he doesn't want an understanding with Monique. It sounds like to me he came on here strictly. Welcome, Rika Regaming, by the way. He came on here strictly for to bring some more lighter fluid to the party, and
And
that's
maybe he was saying, "Listen, sis, you can just go ahead and get my name out your mouth. I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear it no more." And he may was trying to just go ahead and sever whatever cords that were left. And he might be justified in that. We don't know we don't know what the relationship has been like up until now. Who knows what has
right.
been going on? I don't know if I don't know if it's good or bad, but I think I've made my point, and I hear your point, DJ. I totally get where you're coming from, and I appreciate you always trying to hold them accountable. I see Phoenix's point of view because she's speaking from she was in that spot and she's changed and trying to do better. And I'm a huge believer in people changing. Um, because if you really have changed, you are literally a different person. If you do the work to change, then those are two
Yeah.
different people, and we should not be always
Well,
calling somebody else's previous self back if
right.
they legitimately have changed. That's not
Right.
fair.
I guess another point I put myself in. Let's say he was my son, which he very well could be. I mean, as
Mhm,
far as age wise, right? If if I'm mature in my place, as far as let's say maybe his mom was mean to both of us, right? I
mhm.
would still not want him to go out here putting our business out on the internet. So
True, but
so I
we
mean, I
didn't
just
know about him without hearing that from Mo. W
right,
we didn't know anything. She was the one who brought this up. He didn't come out and say this. She has
right,
said this before. This is my second time hear her say something about, her not being a good mom to the first son. She could have just never even mentioned him, you know?
right. I mean, the thing is this, I don't know if she meant it to I did I didn't see that part of the of her interview about him.
Mm.
Um, I will say this, I didn't like the fact that she got daddy involved. It should have been between her and her son because daddy had nothing to do with them 2. You see what I'm saying? Unless he
I agree.
raised him too, that now that when I think about it like that, it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I did put a little bit too much heat on him because that I th if I think about it like that, where she keeps getting daddy involved, and I guarantee you daddy is the reason why she's not getting gigs too. But, um,
Could you
it's
see
not
from his point of view what he could be going through?
right with that because if w I think it's more so this, w and I'm just kinda getting hit by a small epiphany, not a big one, but a small one, where where she's she's allowing somebody to speak on her son when really it's between her and her son.
Mhm.
Do so basically I can see how his shade can be justified in that case because look, you wanna bring dude out, he ain't even my daddy. And
Mhm.
you gonna have him when
Yeah.
you brought me up and now I think they would have been okay if they just had an interaction with each other, but she bring daddy in like she brings him in for everything, which brings me over to this daddy. He's the one who's ruining everybody's lives. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have 2 wonderful kids together, right? 2
Mhm.
twins. But every other aspect of their lives, it's not been and it's clear that Monique is not happy with how her career is going. That's apparently clear.
Mhm.
Um, and she doesn't seem to understand that it might have to do a lot with daddy. I mean, he
Mm.
not that he's a mean or evil guy, no, not at all. But some look at the NFL. They create trade coaches like they buy clothes. So
Mm.
sometimes you just have to sometimes some people the it just seems like the guy seems nice, daddy seems nice, right? But for some reason he rubs people the wrong way and now he's
Ugh.
rubbed her son the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
it's
he's
not I don't know what it is. Some people are just irritating like that. I can't explain it.
I agree. I agree.
it's also the place that every time you keep calling him daddy, it's pissing me off. So I can only imagine
It's weird.
what
It
he's
makes me
doing
s
to her son.
it makes me grimace every time I hear that. It's like, "Ugh." Oh,
Yeah.
like,
Ugh.
"Okay,
But
daddy." It's like, "Ugh."
yeah, it is very cringy and unnecessary. And I listen, there was something interesting that they wait a minute, hold on. Let me zip it because I was about to bring something else up, but I said I would kind of keep it short because I'm so long-winded. So I'll zip, zip, zip. It's about another interview with them, but it's not this one. So I'll just zip.
No, no. I mean, by all means. I mean, this is Valentine's night, so you know.
Yeah, I've never been on with you. This is awesome. Keep going.
I was gonna say, and listen, I have a tough skin, so DJ, at any point, you can always cut me off, and I won't feel any type of way about it. You too, Phoenix. Um, oh, it was about. Oh, remember when she said that they um had gotten married? They were already married, and she would sit at the head of the table, and he would sit to the side. And then at some point, she whatever interactions that they had, whatever she eventually realized that she was supposed to sit to the side, and he was supposed to be the head of the table, and he'd never said anything. Like this is the second time I've heard her say this. Because I remember hearing her say this on her talk show when she had a talk show back in the day, about 10 years ago. That he never spoke to her about submission. He never said any of that. It's just through their interactions, she kind of just knew, and she just shifted. And I found that so interesting because he married you despite you not being submissive. You guys are already at the dinner table already. My mind, I can't make it make sense to where if the dynamic was good enough for him to get into a committed relationship and a marriage with you, why is it so profoundly important that you have this type of reverence to this degree? And it seems, what was I going to say? It, I could be wrong, and I don't want to speak on anybody's life when I don't know it, but I sometimes wonder, like, did she is she just spending all of her energy trying to elevate him to something that he's not necessarily at?
That's what it
And
seems
why
like to
was it
me.
okay for him to not to be at that level when they got he was okay with it before?
Oh, you mean daddy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's
apparently he was okay with whatever role he was playing. I don't know.
It's
It
like,
to me it all seems so unnecessary.
no, I see where you're coming from. This is the vibe I get from dude. This guy is not really he's not really good at anything. He's kinda like a lump of clay, and I think truly that's where she's paid for it. I don't know
Mm.
why I keep thinking that. I just think that again, I don't think he's an evil guy. It's just he's not what she needs to get what she wants done, and he's got this aura that puts people off, and I think the problem is that when that person's your agent, you got some problems. You know? And I think the more I think about it, the
Mm.
more I can see why her son is responding the way he is.
Okay,
And
so this is, well, no, just briefly. You guys are reminding me. I always had this motto that if I have to hand you your peen, you don't deserve it. So
Mhm.
y it seems as if that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to hand him. She's trying to make him.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. And that's it. She's trying to make him. And then is he your daddy or is he your son?
Right. Right, how about
Whoa,
she should try
you just said a
husband
mouthful on
on for a
that.
minute, you know?
Yeah,
It
but we
Ooh.
can't even get to husband right now. Because she is very, very specific about calling him daddy, and she has an explanation for it. So this is well thought out. And to me, it is all unnecessary because I'm sure he has talents, untapped talents, but I'm sure he does. She clearly does. And it all seems so unnecessary. Like she's trying to I feel like that they probably grew up, they were friends before.
Mhm.
They get together, she's a big star, and he's okay with the dynamic. Maybe he isn't really, but he at least went along with it. Whatever happened, it almost seemed like he has you ever just hear people speak like philosophy, sort of like I can never say the word, philosophical kind of speaking, and they kind of have it and it kind of sounds good, kind of like preachers or whatever.
Right.
And if you have that gift of gab, that's wonderful, especially if what you speak about, you're doing your best to live it, right? So then that's wonderful. But if you have this way of speaking or whatever, um, I wonder if, okay, I wonder if she got caught up. This is the spot that I'm at. She clearly has her trauma. He has his. We all have ours, our trauma. She's got the dad wound. She's got the, fat wound. I'm to this wound, all this stuff, right? So she's with him, and she wants either she's going to be in charge and take care of herself, or she's going to um be under him, like have him be the head or the lead or whatever. So those are the two options. And so I'm thinking he was speaking whatever he was speaking, and it sounded good. And maybe at one point, I remember she said that the therapist was saying something and he was saying something, and it matched. And instead of her just kind of appreciating him for his thought and moving on, it's like she immediately was like, "I have a new daddy now." That the dad that I was supposed to keep have at 13, I have a new daddy now. And he kept playing into the that with that philosophy type of speaking, and it seemed like everything he said was so profound and really, not saying that it's not, but it's not really. It's stuff that we should all know, just living, being human beings. So it's like he's stuck in this pattern of being this sort of guru with this way of speaking about what should be, and it doesn't apply all the time, and it's not necessary, and that energy could be put into him actually genuinely being the agent, like being a real agent, learning about the craft and being that, whether it be just to her or to others, um, or put it into his own, whatever his own calling is. But it's like that his sort of like, even when he was on the phone with Tyler Perry, and Tyler Perry was like, "Look, I'll give you the money." Like he was just like, they had said all kind of wild stuff to him on that call, but in the end, he was just like he was going to pay her, and they were getting what they wanted from the call. But then, as soon as Tyler was, you know, spoke about how he was going to take care of her, he was trying to school Tyler on some sort of philosophy about life, and it's like, what are you doing? Zip it
Right.
up. He
Right.
just gave you what you asked for. So it's
Right.
like he's overusing
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
He I
I'm
mean, the
sorry.
bottom line is that I know, you nailed it. The guy, and believe it or not, he is not trying to be annoying.
Hmm.
He's just is. He's just an annoying type of guy.
Yeah.
I know them. I know guys like that. They're just, they're
They want to be something. They want to be someone.
not some
Yeah,
reason really
pretty
feel like
pretty sure. Yeah.
you know, I feel like that he is probably the root of the lack of success that Monique has had, and I'll tell you why. She's talent-wise, I'm only talking talent, not
Mhm.
morals, not, character, right?
Mhm.
Talent-wise, she's a pretty easy sell,
Mhm.
okay? She's moderately funny. She's very articulate. She can speak well. She can land the plane when it comes to being an actress, right?
Mhm.
So, and I hate to say it, but um heavier set black women get a lot of roles because they don't compete with all the other skinny non-black
Mm.
women. You see what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah, that's
In
what
roles. So, a lot of people don't know that, but that's what's going down a lot is because the who wants to a gorgeous black woman is going to always compete with a good-looking or even gorgeous white woman on the big screen.
Mhm.
It's just and they don't want that. So she by her just that Monique should be getting gigs, maybe not left and right, but she should be in a movie. She should be in a movie literally every 6 months with somebody.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Uh, maybe not the main actress, but definitely supporting actress.
Mhm.
Um, she's as far as an actress, not her character, not her morals. She's a very interesting person
Mhm.
as far as an actress. She's witty, she's funny, she's you know she can be strong, she can be weak. That's a lot for a director to work with.
Mhm.
So, what is keeping her from her success? And it very well could be daddy. I have
I
seen
don't know
people
if it's him though. I think that
what like it
I
can't,
don't think it's him
you no,
directly.
you won. You're right, Mystic Mona. I'll tell you why. Because it can't be him because she chose him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See,
Mhm.
It's
so
yeah, it's not
it's
him directly, but
it's
it's her
it's
using of him.
yeah, the bottom line, she chose somebody who's extremely annoying to be her manager. So
Mhm.
just that alone, because most people, what happens is like after an actor, if he or she stops getting gigs after 3 years, they get rid of their manager. I mean, their agent because there's something wrong.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
that's just my theory. That's me just thinking off the top of my head.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I think that she I'll be honest with you, she admitted that she was kind of a hothead and all that stuff. And I'll be honest, like I think that
She's annoying too.
no, no, I'm not gonna call her annoying. I'm not gonna call anybody annoying. I'm gonna say
Uh,
that there's a space that we're missing between how she got in this position and then her daddy. So the space that I'm thinking of is whatever identity that she kind of um morphed into. Okay, so think about it. She's a kid. She's been made fun of for being heavy set. She's got her issues with her dad, and then her dad is like showing up for her siblings, but not showing up for her at a certain age, right? Um, and she's got this dad wound, this mom wound. She's been, essayed by her brother. Who knows what else other trauma that she had.
okay.
So that's got to be um it's like her self-esteem didn't even have a chance because it was torn down before it could even really be built. And then here she arrives in Hollywood and she's getting this validation from, now becoming a name and getting this money and all of that. So there's a space between there that those somewhere in there is where the issue is. The root of it is, which is because somebody said this, it's like she's navigating like she is just like some little nobody um on the what is
Yeah,
it,
she
the
is.
Chitlin circuit. Like, no, 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 Monique, you are actually a huge star. And why don't you have one of those fancy agents? And even if your daddy is your agent, that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But if he would be at the level of like a real agent. So if why don't you have that? It's almost like she's operating like she just started this business 5 years ago, 3 years ago,
Right.
and she's on a much higher level. And um, I don't know if it's self esteem or like just a wound or like this wanting to be loved or seen or hurt, or it's something with the dad, like wanting to be valid, wanted. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to like feel for what it is. Wanting to
What to
wanting to have someone to
um,
show up for you, wanting to have
Yeah.
a structure, a strong structure that typically the father provides, that you can be
Yep.
vulnerable and safe in that those four walls.
So
So
she's
it's
trying to
almost like,
build a man.
yeah, yeah.
She's trying
yeah,
to.
the problem is she's trying to build the wrong man. She should be trying to build her son. Would that be an accurate
Uh,
assessment?
I say she's trying to
she
build
needs.
heal herself because it starts
Yeah,
there
that's what I
first.
was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She needs
Okay.
this. I, I was actually waiting to say that. I mean, bottom line, she needs some deep therapy. She's got to have some therapy. She, I think some. I think it was you, Mystic, who said it in the chat that she needs to take at least a year, maybe longer, just to step back and be within herself
Mm.
and
Right.
go to therapy. And yeah, because none of this is going to be healed unless she starts with herself.
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. And
Pro-
also too, like, I wonder if she's forgiven herself for being a bad mom. I don't feel like she's
No,
forgiven herself.
no.
no, definitely not. I can tell you, with the fact that she still mentioning it, and
Mhm.
undoubtedly what we're seeing is that she's been given the same song and dance every time because she was asked about it. Am I correct, Torch?
Mhm. Shay Shay,
Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, so she was asked about it, and it was the same. She was saying the same thing. So no, definitely
Yeah.
not. But what her son's getting upset about is like, look, you've been saying the same thing, but you have made no effort.
Mhm.
So then he does
Yeah,
want then that the way you break it down there, then that just tells me that he does want um
A
there's
relationship?
something that he does want. He does want a
yeah,
relationship. Otherwise, why
Yeah.
would you care? Why
Yeah,
yeah.
would
even
you
the
I
care?
way
don't
he
doubt
said it, it was very there are so many points where I was when he was speaking, I was like, "Oh, if Mo really moved right, like really moved right, this could be healed." But
that.
she's
Yeah.
got her own stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she'd
Oof.
have to take time out to work this out.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
She
really in the
needs at
long run,
least
I
a
think it
year
would
to heal.
exactly. I think I think it would benefit both of them very much so if she did that.
And it really
So,
the thing is that these are not stupid people. These are people who these are not horrible people or evil people. Like, this could be worked out. Like, I feel like let me not say that because I don't know. from what we see from the optics, it's something that can be resolved. It's resolvable,
Right.
but you
I mean, they
can't
ain't
skip
Diddy.
steps.
They're not
No,
Diddy. So yeah.
yeah, yeah, they're not Diddy, but even Diddy could that's not gonna stop him from being penalized. But he could anybody could shift out of the behavior um that they've had before, and I feel like this is something that can be salvaged, but you can't skip steps. And I think the reason why when she talk about like the community and the babies, it doesn't resonate because we're like, what are you talking about? Like this don't have nothing to do with the community in the way that you're even speaking about it. It sounds so, I don't want to say like fake in the sense that she's trying to be fake. I don't think that. But I think she thinks she sounds like she's saying something, but really it doesn't resonate. It doesn't match with what people feel when they hear her say that.
Oh,
And
I
then there
really.
was something else that she always brings up, the community, saying this or that for the community. And
Oh
then she keeps
God.
saying everybody's so shocked to see a black man standing next to a black woman and all of that. I'm like,
No,
this
she
sounds horrible
projecting
to
right
say.
there. She projecting right there.
Yeah, it's like, but we're really not thinking that. We're really looking at you
Mm.
and thinking this whole thing is sad and you don't even see it.
Yeah, I really wish you would stop calling people the babies, because I mean, and I guess that too has something that could strike a nerve with her son too, to hear her trying
Mhm.
to be auntie or parent for
Right.
all these people, and she hasn't done it for
For
him,
him. For him.
or
Yep.
yeah.
And she may even be doing that subconsciously because she's trying to make up for what she did with him. You just it's like the subconscious is a very interesting thing where it'll have you doing all kind of stuff just trying to make peace, get yourself to some sort of
True.
mental and internal peace,
Hmm.
or eternal peace. Wait, no, internal peace. Um, so it's sad to watch. Like I don't want to judge anybody in the situation because when we really take a look at ourselves and our lives and how far we've come and how many mistakes we've made and stuff, if there's grace for us, there's grace for them. And I mean, no, we still talk smack. I mean, I feel like smack talking is one, fun, and two, it's important because we have to call stuff out so that we can have these kind of conversations so that people can see their shadows. Listen, let me tell you something about YouTube University. There have been so much stuff that I have learned and grown through just having these kinds of conversations and just hearing other people go through similar situations to me. So
Yep, same here.
we if Monique, you hear this, which I'm sure you're not. You probably are doing rich lady things because that's what you do. But we love you. We're rooting for you and your family. We're critical, not because we're haters, but because we're human beings and we know that we all got shit and we all have to talk this stuff out and call a thing a thing, but it still all is in love. It's in love because shit, if my, life was, if I were famous and I had, conversations about my life, people will be doing the same thing to me because it's like we all got stuff. Because
Hmm.
listen, the mother wound or trigger I don't have because I'm not a mother. But I guarantee you, at some point, if we keep talking long enough, you're gonna hit my trigger, and
Yep.
hit dog will be hollering because I will be hollering.
Yeah. It just made me think that, and bottom line, it made me think of the song "The Greatest Love of All." When they
Mm.
say the greatest love of all is the love that's inside of me, and until
Mhm.
she heals and feels that for herself, all of the love that she's expressing outwardly to the community, to her babies, Miss Auntie, whatever she has to say, it's gonna seem performative.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree.
It's her running. I
Hmm
100% agree. That's a great example. Um, mm, that's a whole word.
I'm snapping my fingers. You can't see it though.
I'm snapping. I bet you could hear it. I'm snapping it, girl. Beautifully said. That was beautifully said.
All
Mm, mm,
right.
mm, mm.
Well, thank you, Torch. Thank you. It was good
Yeah.
to be up here. You too, Mystic. I still can't find you, but we'll talk about that later.
Lord, I don't know. Listen, one of these days we're gonna
Yeah.
figure it out. Can
Hit-
everybody
Yeah.
see the back chat? Hold on before you leave,
No,
Phoenix. Or is it just
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
just us
That's right. You guys, yeah, the private chat, they cannot see it. So if you wanted to like
in the
share
back
some information back
room.
there, you can do that.
uh,
Definitely. All
All
right.
right, Torch.
While y'all do that, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the beat. I gotta
Y'all
be
have
up
a good
early
night.
myself.
Same here. Have a good
Okay.
night, Indiana Mom, New Diamond, Bridget Mouton, everybody else in the chat.
All right, here we go.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah, lead the way, I follow, no need to say, where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah, susceptible lies before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Ooh, susceptible lies before the moment flies. It's not a problem, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah, and nothing can stop me, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow, no need to say, where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah, susceptible lies before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible